everybody, and like getting out in this a little warmer weather. It's kind of balmy today compared to what we have had. As you know, the library was closed, and based on Fayetteville City Schools schedule and all that, but they did open, I think, the drop on Saturday and Sunday, so they were able to get some people in here to work. But the parking lot was really bad. And it's still got a few places that's bad, but not as bad as it was a week ago. So we appreciate Manny and the staff and City of Maryville and the Blount County and everybody who kind of helps with the parking lot and made the call whether to be open or not. I've had to do that before and it's not fun. And have also had people who have fallen because of issues in the parking lot. So I think we're always better to be safe than having somebody fall or staff member. So thank you all for that. At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the 22 November 23 board meeting. Whatever we go. Motion. So moved. Sorry. Is there any discussion, any corrections that you might have seen? Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? All right, let's approve the minutes for the November 21 safety workshop and long range planning meeting. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
Any discussion or corrections? Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? No, motion carries. I don't think we have had anybody to sign up for public comments. Is there anybody that would like to speak on something that's on the agenda? Okay, thank you all for being here.
Before I forget, I noticed about in the door, the ladies' door was closed. And I know they were gonna put the door stopper thing.
I think they did.
They did, it's just, we have patrons that end up closing. So
And I don't think it's low enough, so I don't think it holds the door.
yeah,
They slide on the tile.
okay, I'll let them know.
So, yeah, I think it needs to be repositioned, but I still don't like the idea of, I don't think that solves the security issue.
So, and when we get to the committee reports, we had a Maryville PD officer, and he gave a very good suggestion, so we'll get to that,
Okay.
but, so that might solve the issue.
All right, sorry, I just, yeah.
You've already met Rebecca Melvin. I'm glad that you brought her in here. I'd like to commend Summer and the Patron Services Department and really all of the staff for filling in because we've been a little shorthanded with in the last 2 or 3 months. So I really appreciate Summer kind of filling in for Patron Services and running that department as well as what she has done as an administrative assistant. So I know she's not here tonight, but maybe she can. Is she on?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Summer. But all the staff has just really stepped up to make everything run as smoothly as possible. And I know there's been some illnesses and sicknesses and people have also had to fill in for some of those people who have been sick. Manny and I met, I can't even remember when it was. We met with the artist of the Joy Bishop.
Yes.
Sculpture, and an issue was raised about the weight of this sculpture, and originally we talked about it being in the rotunda, but that area is over the basement. So we met with the artist and Carolyn Forster and another person or two, just to look around to see where another location might be. And we kind of talked about the location at the end of the hall here, right before you come in to the hallway area, to the left of the main door that goes in. There's a trash can right there now. But that is surrounded by glass. You could see the sculpture from the inside the library as well as the outside. So that was kind of what Manny and I were going to suggest as to the location of this sculpture. And it's also a place where, and they want it to be touched.
Yes,
They wanted people to be able to touch it and feel it and all of that, and that's also a location where most people are coming in right there. And they will be able to see it and touch it. And if I understand correctly, they will epoxy it
yes,
to the floor. That's not a permanent thing, so if it ever has to be moved, we'd have to hire somebody to move it just because of the weight of it.
yeah.
But it will be epoxy so that it won't be pushed over or anything like that. So that's kind of what we're suggesting that the location of this sculpture be. We take a look at it when we leave today, if you want to see if that's something that you all will approve. And I think, the plan right now is on, March 22nd at 5:30 is going to be when they want to reveal, this sculpture. And I think it's gonna be a real low key right now. City's not ready to do, name the bridge yet and all that. They're kind of, I think Tom Taylor his wife has had some health issues, and so, we're not gonna try to plan the reveal of this at the same time they do something for the bridge. So that's March 22nd at 5:30.
Would you like our PR team to make an announcement for that and put it through our press kit?
I
Or
don't.
do
we
you
need
want to
talk
handle the invites and
I think they were going to notify the donors.
Yeah.
so it might
So
be,
it's-
okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
I think it was just gonna be maybe for the donors
Gotcha.
at this stage. And then later on, do something bigger when they do the bridge thing and all that. That's what I understood.
So does that include us or the donors and the library board or?
Yeah.
not? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely, the library board and staff and the friends, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have two of our members, Logan and Susan, who will be rolling off at the end of June. And our bylaws, are written so that we can make recommendations to Maryville City Council as well as Alcoa. So, I think Logan is working on someone in Alcoa. So, be thinking about, we'll never replace Susan, but somebody, we got a sub for. So be thinking about someone that lives in the city of Maryville, that we can talk to, Greg McLean and the mayor about, submitting that. So, got any ideas, let us know.
So if her term ends in June, when do we have to have those submitted?
Well, it said by May 1, but it really would be better, I think, if we did it, if we had it by April.
Okay,
So they can get it on their May agenda or as soon as possible, so they would know. It would be better if we had names by April. That's all the reports I have. Manny's got quite a few more, under his reports.
I was looking at the report yesterday and some of these things.
Probably 4.
Logan, you're on speaker?
Yes. Hi, sorry.
Did you have a question, Logan?
No, just mute me.
Oh, okay.
I'm here to listen.
Well, I was just saying, just looking at the report, like Santa's visit and New Year's Eve, it feels like it was a year ago, We had the snow, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, we did have a balloon drop on December 30th, which was great, by the way. And that I handed to Children's, how amazing and awesome they are. They had something I've never experienced in any other library or even heard of. So at noon, on December 30th this year, they had some balloons up and noisemakers. So staff did not forget about the noisemakers because we heard it for the rest of the day, the noisemakers. And at noon, it was like a countdown and the balloons dropped and there was it sparkling water, seltzer water with cranberry juice and little champagne glasses for the kids. And so that was a lot of fun. It was packed there. So was Santa. We had a substitute Santa as well, and that worked out again, because like Stephanie said, the library got hit really hard when it came to illness in December. Just seemed like something that was just going around and caught just about everyone here. I was gonna talk about the Knoxville Symphony Orchestra, but that was canceled because of the snow, but they are working on a new date with them. I do want to recognize over in reference, if you were able to see that beautiful display in December of the classic Christmas tree and the shag carpeting, and that was wonderful for Letters for Santa. And that was Lacey and Penny in our patron services department did such a great job with that. We had a number of concerts during the holidays. We had the Flying Jays kicked off. They played Christmas tunes and just a few other songs as well. And they're based out of, I think it's Greenville, Tennessee, and I saw them down in Gatlinburg. And we had a wonderful turnout for that, and I want to bring them back next year. They were very good. We had the Grace Notes Flute Ensemble as well as the Knoxville Opera come. Just some upcoming programs. We're bringing back the Appalachian Series. The Southern Appalachian Series is coming back under Savannah. Savannah is going to be running it. And our first one is on February 5th at 6 o'clock. First lecture will be Early Peoples to Civil War, the People of Southern Appalachia. And that'll be presented by Dr. Astor of Maryville College. We also have a harp concert that we normally do right around Valentine's Day. This will be February the 10th at 2 o'clock. On February 27th, our ever popular focus on seniors will be coming back. And the topic will be hearing and vision. And then the popular seat swap, that is back. That's returning on March 16th. Under collections, just a special shout out to the volunteers that work there. They repair all the books. It's the book hospital, so to speak, back there. So they handle all the damaged books. And they do such a wonderful job. So we're very grateful and thankful for them. In patron services, you met Rebecca. She started yesterday and she's already knocking it out of the park when it comes to patron services. And then tomorrow we have another Rebecca starting, and that'll be Rebecca Moses. And she is the new accounting clerk. She's replacing Lee. So they're both named Rebecca. They both have a last name beginning with the letter M, and their offices are going to be side by side. So yeah, so two Rebecca M. So we're so excited for Rebecca Melvin and Rebecca Moses to begin tomorrow. And during that time, Anjane was wearing a couple of hats too when it came to finance and all the other fun stuff. So she
I'm so grateful.
yeah, she's tomorrow. She yes.
Yes.
But do you want to talk about anything on PR or do you want? Well, you know, then I'll go to you.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that. All right. So I want to thank everyone that attended the library locker, which was I think December the 18th down in Louisville. And Mayor Mitchell was there as well. We had members of the Friends in attendance, and Louisville, the mayor of Louisville was there, and one of the local news outlets. Several board members were there, and we had a couple of technical difficulties due to the sun just hitting at a certain part, but we were able to get the locker up and running. As a matter of fact, I have to go there tomorrow to drop off another book for the locker. So it's doing very well. The book return is like a big hit over there too, because we have patrons just dropping their books there, so I'll have to bring a little bin to return, which is great. So thank you all for getting this project off the ground. I said to all of you, especially Andy, because I went to him first and he's like, sure, let's do it. So thank you for that. Yeah, let's see. Susan, I know you mentioned the doorstop, so I'm gonna speak with Don tomorrow about that. But another thing that we have all started to do is Brian Dowd's Guide to Homeless Training. I did one of the classes actually today. And that's gonna be required for all staff. I believe it's 4.5 hours, 3.5 or 4.5 hours, I think, of workshops. Not all at once, they break it down into different chapters. So once that's complete, staff will let me know, and I can actually see, Anjanae and I are able to look and see what, and some people have already over 40% done already, so they've been working on that. It's fantastic, and again, it's not, even though it says it's Guide to Homeless, I mean, I was dealing with staff conflict today, that's what I was watching, or how people sit. If someone's, sitting like this, what does that mean versus this or versus this, So it's really, really good. Yeah. All right, we'll talk about safety in a bit, but our walkie-talkies, the first group has been ordered. The second group is actually on its way. So there'll be more coming. The Friends, you guys right now have one, but you'll be getting another one down in eBay. Or the one in is it in eBay now, or is it?
eBay.
Okay, so then Dick, your area, you'll get one too. I'm also giving one to Place to Stay and Beerware Blunt as well. And we test them all the time and people are answering, so that's good. Yeah, we can talk about that in the safety committee. All right, so I'll turn it over to Anjanae if you want to talk about PR.
Okay.
Finance.
What is it? I just really want to now, last board meeting, we introduced the new logo and we mentioned branding guidelines. And in your packet, there was a page from the branding guidelines that talked about bound together and gave a little insight of the story of how we want to be perceived and how we want to project ourselves into our community. And what is it? When we shared this with staff, it was one of the most, for me personally, it was a professional highlight. For me personally, it was wonderful to see a group of people have an aha moment.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to share this again. I wanted to say thank you again, because without our valuable, wonderful friends, none of this would have been possible. The rollout has been professional, well received. So I wanted to say huge kudos to our PR team. A wonderful and big thank you to John, who came and spoke, as you heard. But John really reiterated to the staff the importance of making sure that our internal and external messaging are consistent and have a tone and a flavor. And so I wanted to give a shout out to Beth Hall and to Zoe Balu, because they live and breathe it. I also want to quickly go off script and just say, I want to thank Manny Leet for his leadership. The organizational culture here has changed significantly. It is wonderful. It is joyous. It is everything we hoped it would be. Good on you. So I'm all about happy internal and external messaging. So happy about that. What is it? I did want to share with you on a PR front that today, WBIR, came by, and Savannah McCarter in our reference department and Anna Uptain in our youth services department talked with Katie Inman. And what is it? We were featured in the live 10 About Town. So check it out and share it widely. And thank you to both of them, because it meant we didn't have to be there. Yeah, love being on the backside of the camera.
Great job.
Yeah, watching.
It was great.
Excellent, excellent. And then, what is it, again, wanted to introduce Rebecca Moses. Oh, just glad she's starting. What is it, as the accounting clerk too? She will be, part of the cash handling and making sure that our staff, service desks have the ability to accept cash and have the right cash. But also she will have a support role with patron services. And so, yeah, we've got a little bit of we're looking for nicknames for
Yes.
Rebecca.
Yeah.
Because Rebecca M, RM, there, yeah, so, yeah. Maybe that'll be our next competition. Contest. Yeah. So that's it for PR for now. So, thank you.
Anjanae, I wanted to share that WBIR is now gonna have a dedicated person to Blount County, so take full advantage of it. I know that our office has worked hard on that, and if you can't tell, they've done a lot of spotlights recently on Blount County, so with the paper and them now, I think our community is gonna get a real good messaging out there, so take advantage, yeah.
Excellent. We certainly will. Thank you. I do have one other thing that's PR related. The Maryville High School marketing educator has reached out to us again. And so on February 16th, we will be hosting we talk about how we market, what our structure's like, and tell them how we communicate our internal and external messaging. So it's a wonderful opportunity, and it's great always to have some seniors. They are some amazing kids that come through that door. So that's it.
Yep, that's it.
Chad is not here, so we'll skip on down to report of the Friends of the Library. Let's see. Yes.
Well, I feel like Manny, it's been a while since we've been here. I had to back up in my notes, like, wait a minute, we haven't met since our December sale. So we had another successful sale downstairs, no elevator breaks, yes. No other catastrophes, and we grossed over $13,000. Another bright spot has been eBay. I've been bragging about the record over the year, and our gross over this calendar year has been 138,000. So that is a record for us. And I want to say another bright spot. I know Manny has been supportive of us doing a bunch of different membership things. Like when the Hot August nights were going on, we had the membership table out in the lobby. We got a lot of new members. We even got a bunch of volunteers from that being out there and greeting people as they came in. But our membership, which generally holds about to about 10,000 a year coming in, at the 6-month mark for this fiscal year, they're already over $7,000. So they're doing a really great job. We've got a really great team there. And then each year we also monitor the designated donations, also called memorial donations. And then Kathleen Thompson has an opportunity in May to spend all that money to buy some books and DVDs and stuff. And that fund is already over $4,300 for this 6 months. So she'll be happy over the next couple of months to start spending that. And regular donations are coming in fast and furious too. So it's been a really successful first 6 months, and looking forward to the see what kind of records we could set in the next 6. We have, this is our 50th anniversary year. We have a bunch of different things being planned for the year. Starting with February 29th, we're going to leap into friendship. And we'll be kicking that off. We're actually gonna do a scavenger hunt here at the library. And what they're gonna be looking for is things that the friends have funded. And it'll be a contest. They'll have come up with an answer key with some letters that they'll find on the different clues around the library. So we're also going to have a page on our website that's going to ask for donations. And since we started in 1974, we're going to ask for $19.74 as a donation. And we're going to have a display case out. We'll have balloons, we'll have cookies for our kickoff. And we'll be working up a press release to help out. We'll get the Daily News to help us talk about it. Or the Daily News. I'm from New York, sorry. I'm used to the Daily News. But that's been it. We've been pretty busy.
Thank you, Dee. Appreciate you and all the friends. Yes. Report of the Holy Regional Library, Liz.
Hello, can you all hear me okay? Oh, good. The headset's working. So I distributed reports prior, of course. Thank you, Summer, for getting that out in the packet. We had an excellent long-range planning in service on January the 9th with my fellow Regional Director, Jenny Gillahan, who is out of Martin, Tennessee at the Obion River Regional Library. We are looking forward to also participating. This is a statewide training that's happening at different locations in February. The library's Count, which is the Early Math Literacy Workshop. TSLA is sponsoring that, and that will be led by ETSU faculty member Dr. Alyssa Lang. And so we're excited to offer that and hope our library staff will take advantage of that. That will be at the King Family Library in person on February 23rd is the session that will be the closest to our region. We're encouraging our folks to continue their continuing education. So of course, Niche Academy and Web Junction and other in-services that we offer, folks can do that. As you all are aware, all staff members, of course, have to complete a certain number of hours based on the number of hours that they work. So all paid staff are required to do that. And you all always do a fantastic job of getting that done. So thank you for that. Tech grant spending is, of course, going strong. And so the deadline for that spending is April 30th. So it's coming up. You received the standards analysis report. That is an annual report that we put together and distribute to our library boards. This is based off of the standards survey that library directors complete. This is the stapled, well, it's the many colored sheets of paper that go over all the various categories of standards, governance and budget and personnel and facility and technology and community relations. All those different standards. You all do a fabulous job of meeting those. Just to recap, these standards are an in-house evaluation tool and to be used to look at when you're long-range planning. There's not a lot that you don't meet, so kudos. And that's really excellent. We're working on revamping these again. This is from the 2018 revisions that we did. And of course, like good librarians, we always go back to revising and making things better. So hopefully we'll have some revisions coming in the next year or so, I hope. So just so you all have that, you can review that and Manny can answer questions. And there may be some, actually, since this standard survey was completed in July, there may be some that are yes now that were not at that time. So, and just to just to explain the different columns. The FY 22-23 column is, of course, the responses from the library for that fiscal year. The level 5, the second column, level 5 average. Of course, Blount County is a level 5 library. And so that is the percentage of level 5 libraries across the state that meet those particular standards. And then the final column, Tennessee average, looks at all the levels of libraries and takes into consideration how many meet each one of those. I also included the READS Regional Statistics Report, which of course reflects the circulation statistics for each of our libraries in the region in regards to the Tennessee READS consortia. So that would be your Libby app, if for those of you who are familiar using that. We wanted to highlight, I did want to tell you, I know y'all didn't meet in December, but for those boards that did meet in December, we did highlight your Letters to Santa link there so that folks could go and enjoy that. I thought that was a really great, fun thing to have. So we highlighted that in our December report. We wanted to give congratulations to all those year-end campaigns that are going on, and your friends group does a phenomenal job. So that's excellent. I'm so excited about that. Great news. We are continuing to encourage our board members to complete the Tennessee Trustee Certification Program, which is the online program for library board members. And then finally, the last thing I included was just for your information, and I think that the library will be included in the county reporting of this, but it's the National Cybersecurity Review, which is going on statewide. It's a statewide initiative. Actually, it's a nationwide initiative, but our state IT folks are helping our libraries because we want to see as many Tennessee libraries complete this survey as possible. So we're trying to do everything we can to help them, and we've had some informational webinars for library staff. But I think, Manny, you can probably let them know. I'm pretty sure that the library is going to be included in the county response, the total county response for that. So, all right. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Liz.
Thank you.
I had a question, Liz. On the last page of your report, where we got a no on the 0.5 square feet per capita, what is that?
That is a facility. Yes. Let me look at that. That would be auto calculated. So that's 0.5 square feet. And I'm assuming that's per the service population. So ideally you would have half a square foot per person for the service area population. So that's auto calculated. Manny, I think that was grayed out. I don't think you all could do that. Some of these are pre-populated, and they're determined based on the system knowing what the service area population is and then knowing what the square footage is for the library.
Any other questions for Liz? Thank you, Liz.
You're welcome.
We're going to skip the committee updates and go to the book return drawings because is Eric still online?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I have a motion to accept the book return drawings? So moved. And do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion and any questions for Eric? Anybody have any questions? Want to have any specific information? Okay. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you joining us.
That was the easiest meeting I think I've ever been in. Thank you.
Good deal. Thank you.
Okay.
I did have a
Oh, we have a question, Eric.
I'm sorry. on your A1.1 drawing, you had doors that looked like there was no glass in the middle. So it looked like it was all wood. Is that correct? Coming out of the book drop area into the general hallway. Was it
I think that, yeah, no, I think that door actually has glass. If you look on the sheet that has the individual like door elevations, I believe that shows it with glass. I think that's what we had talked about.
Yeah, I think it needed to have glass so people could see what's coming in and out.
Yeah, it may not show that on the floor plan. That may just be a graphic representation of that door, but the actual view of the door should be on the sheets with all of the door information.
I saw the door frame elevation, but I didn't see any glass. And it says wood door, new wood doors.
Okay. Yeah, we can certainly add glass if that's not what's showing on the drawing.
Okay.
I don't know what H&M frame is. It says with H&M frame.
Yeah, that's a hollow metal frame. So that's just basically the same frame that would match with the others that are in the building.
Anything else? Thank you. Okay, thanks, Eric.
Okay.
All right, let's move back to committee updates. Andy and Manny, do y'all have anything to add about the safety committee meeting? The safety committee meeting met back earlier in the month.
Yeah, we met, and first of all, I want to compliment Stephanie and Manny on the committee. It's a really good committee. Committee was made up of a trustee, Annie and Summer, Justin McClure from the IT department, Scott Spicer, lieutenant with the Maryville Police Department, Dick Burgess from the Friends, Chelsea Mathena from the staff, and County Commissioner John Giles. And we discussed a lot of things, but we talked about the Sarah system that was now up and running in the library. We actually tested it while we were in the meeting, and it did work, which was great. We also talked about if we have the Sarah system working, could we also do lavaliers or name tags for the employees in the store, in the library setting, so that it wouldn't have to go to a local computer to log in. They can actually just touch their lavalier and call if they have a problem. So that was a recommendation. We talked about walkie-talkies, and the walkie-talkies, we tested those too, and they actually worked. Took a little while, but they actually worked it, and we did get responses. There was some question on the Wi-Fi tables, and the Wi-Fi tables are now turned off at night. Anytime it gets dark, they're turned off, and they will be updated as the daylight hours change. So as it gets lighter, that was one of the things we talked about. Talked about the children's door and wall, and we were absolutely in favor of doing that. The new drawing, we looked at that. I think everyone liked that. There was a discussion of placing notebooks throughout the library in each area that had a list of pictures of people that are listed on the no trespass or sex offenders. So that there's some question on how do employees know who is not supposed to be in the library or who are trespassing. So the police department said that they would create a notebook with pictures and a listing of these people, and it is legal to have it, as long as it's not open to the public. And so that was a good thing. There was a request for a part-time police presence.
Is there any talk about trying to tie any sort of facial recognition into the camera system to just automatically detect, do a facial match? Is that something that we can do? Okay, that's my opinion.
That's a good question.
It's Chinese now.
Yeah.
Want me to bring that up?
Google can do it, surely we can.
Yeah, it's getting pretty impressive what security systems are doing now with facial recognition, so.
Okay. There was a request for part-time police presence, and the Maryville police officer said that he would be in favor of sponsoring that. And so if we needed to have part-time police presence at night, we used to have that years ago, and they would reinstitute that. Manny needs to put it in the budget for this year or this coming year for our new budget. And also there was some discussion on part-time maintenance person, male, at night here in the library.
That's a good question. Have there been any incidences in the past month or two, please?
Nope, we've had none.
Are they still kind of doing their rounds?
They
and
are,
showing up?
yeah, as a matter of fact, during the meeting, I had seen an officer drive by in his vehicle, but yeah. So, yeah, knock on wood, we've been,
So that.
yeah,
And they said they would come as employees are leaving also.
yes,
That
yeah.
they would
Yeah,
be-
especially in the dark.
they would be
Yeah.
here for that.
Yeah.
So it was great having a police officer on the committee.
Yeah.
Especially a lieutenant. There was a request to put motion detectors and an alarm system in the lower level, so that the lights would either come on or we would have that. And I think we thought that was a really good idea. So that's something we'll bring up at the next meeting. We discussed the administration hallway and that being a problem, possibly either using accordion gates, close it off, or doing some type of closer in that area.
Is that this hallway right here, or it's the one over on the other side?
Yeah, the cafe,
Okay.
There is a door there, but
yeah.
Is it just open all the time?
No, when I say it, I'll shut it, but yeah, it does get open and patrons.
So what about this hallway here? Those glass doors, are they locked unless there's a meeting?
Unless there's a meeting, they'll be locked, yeah, yeah, like.
Cause there's this restroom over here, that's pretty remote.
And one thing the lieutenant brought up after the meeting was having those motion detector lights in the restrooms over here.
that's a great.
So that was, and the other thing he mentioned, this kind of answers your question about the bathroom doors, and I forgot what they call it, maybe Greg or Andy could. So the doors would have like a vent at the bottom, like an open vent, so then you can hear people. So if there was a case of an incident, you would hear someone yelling. I don't know what they call it, but
Yeah, just
louver door,
and that's easy to.
yeah.
That helps with the air conditioning. The police department suggested that we have no loitering signs and no overnight parking signs scattered around our parking areas and in the green belt. And we all agreed on that. And I called the maintenance department in the county and ordered those signs for us. So hopefully we'll get those fairly soon.
Can we go back to that hallway? At the courthouse, there are certain doors that general public cannot go in unless they have a badge,
Yeah.
a SWAT badge. Could we not get something like that
I want that,
installed?
yeah,
on
I
that
told
door?
Don, because we have one here for this door where you need that, and I would want that for that, so like, and the friends would have the badge, so you guys can get through Yeah. So because just recently there was someone walking back there. And you never know,
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, I think that would be something that the county could probably
Yeah.
install pretty easily, since they've got them at the courthouse.
One of the
anyway.
maintenance said it's pretty easy to do that over there, because then we have one on the other end as well, where Kathy Thompson, the doors close at night, and you also need that to get through, so, yeah, we have a couple of them. And actually, when you leave tonight, the last door on your left, it's like a skinny door. You need that as well, because that's the circulation desk, so, yeah. You got that. Okay. Yeah,
Lower level, friends requested that we look into putting door closers, automatic door closers and panic bars on the exterior doors. So I think that's great. Go forward with that. There was a discussion about having a total security audit of the building. And Commissioner Giles said that he would take care of that and contact the person who has done that for the Blount County schools, and he has done that. I don't know if she's scheduled that or not.
she's scheduled this Monday at 10 o'clock, and she works for the Office of Homeland Security. Yeah.
They should do it at night and try to get into the library.
They might, yeah.
The government, the only working to like they hired those burglars to try to break in, find out the security issues.
And the last thing I had is that the police department suggested that we do background checks on any volunteer in the library, and we don't do that now. And so that was something that was brought up, and probably not a bad idea. So our next meeting is February 7th, 4 o'clock. It's an open meeting, so anyone can come, and Stephanie was our guest this last time, so we come back.
I'd second that idea for background checks. Like, I've been volunteering, we're working with my church for years, and anybody now in church settings that has to do work with kids, they go through a whole process.
I think Parks and Rec does that already. Yeah.
We did it at the museum, absolutely.
You can't be too careful.
Hey Liz, I see you shaking your head. Is there a system that other libraries use that would be free for us or cost efficient?
I can't think of that off the top of my head. I just knew my church does that too for the children's. So that I was shaking my head for that. I can find that out though, if anyone has recommendations or if the county has a particular service that other departments use and they can recommend.
Is that something we have to pay for?
That's why I was wondering, because it could
I
be,
think usually.
About 100. Last I looked into, it's like $120 to $150, depending on how.
Per person?
Yes, but we don't have volunteers working with children at all.
But you're
That's
talking,
one of
we're
the
talking about all
reasons.
volunteers.
Well,
That's the next question of should the friends.
That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of
How many
money.
volunteers do you have?
140 about them.
140. If you instituted a background check, those numbers would drop down really fast. As far as incoming people, again.
Well, and if they're not working with children.
That's the point. If they're working with children, Chelsea's got a screen going there. We don't recommend anybody to go up there. If they insist on doing it, they're gonna have to deal with Chelsea. We don't have anybody offering any positions up in that children's area.
That's a lot to ask.
yeah, I think unless we found a free service or something, yeah.
We're not gonna find a free
Yeah.
service. Cause even our churches have to pay.
Yes.
Yeah.
For that, so,
With children, I see it.
yeah. It's just,
But the other thing is we want our children to be interacting with our librarians and their
Well, yeah,
parents.
yeah.
We don't want to start undermining librarians' work.
Yeah.
With that.
Hey, Andy, that's good. Yeah, thank you. Anything to add?
No, I mean, there's the active attack, but I know we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
Andy covered it.
The recommendations.
I think we bring it to the board. And the board will vote on that. I know at the next meeting, Don Stallions will be replacing Tim Tipton, so Don Stallions will be part of the committee. So, but I would think if there's a recommendation, like you said, with the
Lavaliers.
yeah,
Mhm.
that would be something in pricing and things of that nature, yeah. And we'll go what.
Don, is that what you all have?
The school system has it that way.
They work. And I think we have to operate similar to a school system because we have children. And we also have the elderly, or a lot of seniors, I think, come.
You think the staff or the employees would like that and having the walkie-talkies in?
Well, we have both.
I think, yeah, I think there's.
So we have both, we have buttons, but then there are designated people in our schools that have the walkie-talkies.
Or my lavalier works with my walkie-talkie that we're, is that how they work?
We're not that fancy.
Yeah, Lavaliers,
Yeah, we do for events, we have to.
that's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. And definitely when we had we had over 300 people for Santa here. And the
Yeah.
place was, or for MiniCon, having those definitely.
And like even touch a truck, I could see value in it.
Thank you, Andy. That's very, very thorough. And we'll wait to hear recommendations.
All right. I think that is.
Under old business, proposed polling place petitioning and political campaign policy. Do I have a motion to accept this? We had quite a bit of discussion about that at the last meeting and several corrections made. Do I have a motion? So moved. Do I have a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Discussion.
Yep.
I still have quite a concern on having signs up that are that early. The,
60.
we gotta find it. It was like 2 months or 3 months.
60 days.
Before.
60 day, I think that's is that not just the polling
That's just,
policy?
yeah.
That's, they can start putting them up 60 days all across the county, in the city. The city has certain, I think the city is 60 days.
I would think polling places have to follow, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, the head of election, she had her attorney or their attorney look at that and that was, yeah.
They're not gonna put them up 60 days. Most people aren't.
I hope not.
But most politicians will put them out when early voting starts. Because since this is an early voting precinct, they will put them up a day or two before. So, I mean, that's just what I noticed.
And early voting here begins, so it'll be at the library from February 12th to the 20th. And we haven't had any, that'd be for even the national or presidential election. Right. Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen any signs here, so.
Mine was more of a comment, not of any change to the policy, but what I've seen in other polling places I like, it may be helpful for staff, is actual like tape on the ground or a marker or something of the number of feet. And so that might be helpful for you guys to consider as well.
Crime scene papers.
Election.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to.
Yeah.
Oh, so they actually mark it?
Yeah,
Okay,
they
good.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Vote,
Yes.
all approve,
Yes.
I.
opposed. Okay, thank you. Under new business, we want to remove the Friends request. At this time, they're not quite ready to vote on that. Is that right, man?
Correct.
Which friends request?
The April 19th.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
April 19th, we're removing that. I think because you all need to vote on that, decide on that first.
Right.
Correct, okay. So we're removing that and we are adding active attack training. The second half of that is scheduled for the February 21st at 8:30. So if you remember, the first half of that, we closed the library so the entire staff could attend that. So it's being requested that we open at noon on that day of the February 21st, so they can have the second part of that attack training. So just add that and then we'll vote on that when we get to it. Under the new business trustee bylaws policy, we don't have to vote on that since this is first reading, but is there any discussion about that policy? The only thing that I saw was some spacing issues with some of the typing and things. So we'll just get that corrected. Was there anything else to discuss about that policy?
I didn't know if the mission statement should maybe be more aligned with the mission statement of the library. It just seemed a little bit different, but, so. Information need to be successful participants in the community in order to make informed decisions affecting their lives. Is that really what the trustees are doing, or? I mean, but it just seemed it should tie more with our mission on our website. It would be the same. Should it not be the same?
What is it? I mean, Sean might know legally, what is it?
Yeah,
Isn't it filed with the state? Yeah.
it is.
Yes, because we are a county board or a board that's appointed by ostensibly by city councils and or county commissions, then yes, this would have to be filed with the Secretary of State's office.
I don't want to complicate matters. I'd be just like, oh, that mission seems to be different than our library mission. And I just didn't know if they should be a little more consistent, but it's. Wow. Something, we have probably better things to spend time on.
I would have to look at some other bylaws and other boards to see. But if you find, I mean, we're not voting on it tonight. So
Right, no, it's just.
Yeah,
That seems
we can
different.
do a little research,
Yeah.
on that, before the next meeting.
Remain unnecessary.
There's one question that I see as I looked over it, me being here at the house tonight, that under 2.6.3 about remote participation, and it said that in limited circumstances, if we had a quorum, that if a person was unable to physically appear, that would be consistent. And I know that I thought we had spoken previously that if you were participating remotely, that was not counted as being able to participate, other than me as a spectator tonight.
Liz, do you have a?
That's been our guidance that we've received, but I mean, as with everything, I would run that past your county attorney and see what their recommendation is for participating. I know from other regions I've heard there's been some wide interpretations for that. So I would seek local
Okay, 'cause
legal
it's-
guidance.
Because I know that previously we had spoken and said that once, in sometime in 2020, 21, when everything went back to in person, that's kind of where it was. But this looks like it was done, probably amended back in 2022, so afterwards. So that may be something that we would want to check on and see. I know with
Yeah.
two of us being, or three of us counting Summer being online tonight. So
Well, and of course that wouldn't affect, Summer or me because we're not
Right.
appointed
Of
members and
course. Of
we're not
course.
voting. But I mean, our legal counsel has clarified that once the governor's executive orders during the pandemic ceased to, continue, that you could not participate. And I've heard from other regions who had, and I don't even remember where it was, but a county attorney said you couldn't even speak if you weren't in. So that's why I'm saying those little things, I don't know, I would talk to your county attorney and find out what their interpretation is on that as to the severity of that.
Gives a attorney.
Okay, we'll do a little research
Yeah.
between now and the next meeting. Run it by the attorneys. Okay. Under new business. As you know, we have been working on Manny's evaluation and very proud of the accomplishments of the library and his evaluation. Manny, do you have anything? We're glad you're here.
I'm glad to be here.
And I took the liberty of pulling some of the comments that you all made and kind of summarized at the end of that evaluation. And I have not typed up all those comments yet, but I will get those finished up and sent out so that you all have an opportunity to see what everybody else's comments were. So I am working on that.
Yeah, I just want to thank the board again for another year. It's been a heck of a year, from year one to year two. So I do want to thank you all for your support and how helpful you've been during some really difficult times. So that means a lot. And like I said to Stephanie earlier today, that score reflects the staff as well, because I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for them. And I truly mean that. Since day one, they've been so helpful and open and so excited to start a new adventure with me. And I've loved every moment of it. You have those days, and I gotta thank especially Anjanae and Summer, because you've kind of been the two that will, when I'm having one of those days, I'm kind of like knocking on the door and here comes the vendor, and so I appreciate the two of you for sometimes letting me vent. And
Each grab a leg and say, you're not going.
I definitely want to thank the two of you especially, but the whole staff. And we have it's such a great place. We have staff advocates, and they kind of serve as, like in unions, they kind of serve as like the steward, kind of like the ones where staff would go to them if there's any issues. And I really hope I am not going to jinx anything what I'm about to say, but there hasn't been any issues for months and months. We're going to be doing some activities. I know exactly, knock on wood, we're going to be doing some activities outside of the library. We're going to be going to
Creative Spark
Studio. So we're going to be, is it painting or what is it like?
It has all kinds of crafting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing something there. I don't crafting. there.
But I was in the room when one of the staff advocates walked in and she goes, we haven't had any complaints. I'm now head of the party planning.
Yeah,
And you know what? That's a pretty good use.
it is. So we're gonna be doing that, we're gonna be doing something fun, the staff for during Cinco de Mayo. We possibly going to a baseball game during the summer because that is
He drags it.
yes, I know, the Smokies last season at the stadium, because I think they're getting the new stadium next year.
Yeah.
So doing that and then going to one of the parks to have, like barbecue and play games and have our families together, so.
Good.
I've seen other libraries do that, and those libraries are tremendously strong and they hold that bond. So when there are issues, that wall is like adamantium.
Strong.
Strong. I was trying to bring up the green.
Okay, yeah.
Summer, what does he have? Adamantium?
Look at her.
Yeah, you're right. It's adamantium.
Yeah. Okay, all right, so it's indestructible, that's, I guess what I'm saying. So I mean, I thank the board and thank the staff, friends and the foundation and just the community have been so welcoming and, during some difficult times, they've reached out to me and that means a lot, so thank you for that. So.
Any board members have any comments or want to say anything?
I just had a question about this.
Oh,
And I didn't know if I was supposed to ask
yeah,
Jeff questions or not, but on the rules for the Blount County book drop,
yeah,
some of the things that I think need to be covered in there are the employees. When are the workers working? What are their hours?
yes,
What are their rules? It's the same thing that we had with the roof people.
Yeah.
They use the bathrooms.
yeah,
They use the lounge. What are their rules? Can they come into this building and whatever? What time do they come in? What time do they come to work?
The county handles that, don't they?
yeah, and we will have a meeting, we had one for the roof, what exactly all that stuff.
Right.
Language, everything like music,
Right.
and there were porta potties out here, I'm guessing that'll be the case for this one too. So, yeah, good question, but yeah, we'll have like a pre-meeting, yeah.
Stephanie, I wanted, the comment session is still available to say, Manny, we're so proud of you and proud to be on this board. I think the biggest thing I want to compliment is your relationship with the governments. Thank you. You have really solidified that and made it easy. So you and the staff and everyone's wonderful. So the review is easy to do.
I have a question that is
Uh-oh.
from earlier, and it may be the tip of an iceberg, so we can table it till later or something, but why don't we have a fax machine?
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
I can answer.
Okay, yeah, you can.
Okay, so what we have scan to email.
Yeah.
So we use a more updated form of technology. In saying that, fax does allow a certain level of security that
Yeah.
one could say, well, email can't provide. But knowing our county IT, we probably got it covered. To add that particular feature is something like $800 for the duration of the machine. And so we've usually always decided, because we have that, our IT department is at a security level that we're pretty sure you're good. We've just decided to allocate them.
Has that ever been a request where people want to send a fax? Has that ever been even?
They usually ask, and then it's less now because everybody else is getting to the point where you scan the email, and the email's a particular line, and now you can email to a phone number and blah 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 blah. So The requests are becoming less.
Thanks.
I thought you wanted the fax machine back.
I was just curious, because it was the one thing.
Yeah, it's true.
No, thank you. I think you've done a good job.
This is an off the wall question. Are we gonna have T-shirts and sweatshirts and things with the logo?
So what is it? We are working on that. We were going to probably have something ready by now, but with the snowmageddon, it's just been delayed. What is it? There have been initial talks and then there's gonna be a design. Will it look exactly like staff? If it doesn't have the staff name on it or label on the back, it's gonna look a little bit different because we don't want staff shirts to look like the shirts that are available to everyone else. But we will start to ramp that up. It's just some people aren't even fully in-house yet, so we're working on it. We'll have an update.
Okay.
I have a few more things just
Okay.
that are financial related. Any questions on the finances? Very quickly. We're tracking really well.
Yeah.
Okay. LSTA grant. Wanted to let you know that we were awarded $3,586 for the matching grant. So that means we have to spend just over $7,000 for the grant. Again, the Friends make that possible for us. We have new point of sale terminals on each of our access points now. You'll notice them if you go to Circ Out and Circ In, they're now the center station. Their location provides greater safety, visibility. We're very excited about that. We are going to be able to purchase 3 laptops. With that, we're waiting those funds because we needed to bump up our credit card for the Friends, and that's in the works. And we're getting a new screen for the Learning Lab, and we're relocating one of the screens. Otherwise, our Mondo pads, we're replacing them. Digital signage is up and running. Shout out to Zoe for making that happen. Let's see, our top grant, which is our technology opportunities for the public, that is tracking well. Attendance is high since we have switched up our marketing by repackaging them in kind of like tracks. Let's see, the Arconic Manufacturing and Hospitality Grant, it has submitted its first invoice, so that is going well. Later this month, we will be making the announcement of the World on the Move traveling exhibit. And that is a wonderful opportunity. We will be having that in 2025, but you'll see the press come out. I'd love to say by the end of this week, but the end of this week is coming quicker than I might be ready for, so it might be next week. And that's it.
Friends funding request, large format printer.
Okay, so we made the request for the large format printer in July when we put all the requests through. Unfortunately, what was selected was a plotter printer, which is great if you're doing architectural drawings and things like that. But that's not usually our vibe. So what is it? In order to get the graphics printer, this is the difference. So we're asking to use the already granted $3,519. We're asking to repurpose $1,757.44 that were allocated to the LSTA fund over to the large format printer. So we're not asking for more money, we're just changing the allocations of it. We're reducing this spend on the LSTA grant. And one of the things with this LSTA grant is a matching. This year, the number was a lot lower than we usually get. So we don't have the same kind of matching requirements that we usually have.
Is that printer available to the public?
We don't advertise it in that
Mhm.
sense, only because we haven't figured out what would be the cost. We would, because, so for instance, this printer that we're wanting to purchase has 9 toners.
Yeah.
And so if someone came up and they're like, I want a big red one, I want it, you know, this long, we'd have to say, okay. And the other thing is we don't want to compete with local large format printers. So Office Depot does this. So we usually do it in-house. So Friends, Foundation, if the board has needs, and then of course our programming. But partners, we kind of help, but making it open to the public, it
I was asked
There'd be
like
a
a
cost
year
barrier.
ago for somebody.
So do I have here a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second. More discussion? All in favor? Any opposed?
Thank you.
Last thing, the active attack training, second half on February 21st. Beginning at 8:30 and Manny's requesting that the library open at noon on that day so they can have everybody can attend this training. So do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second, any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay. Anything else? Do I hear a motion that we adjourn?
Make a motion.
Second. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you all for being here. Appreciate it.